Lompoc.
Tune in, Lompoc.
Tune in, Lompoc.
Tune in, Lompoc. Tune in, Lompoc. Tune in, Lompoc. Tune in, Lompoc. Tune in, Lompoc.
Tune in, Lompoc.
Let's tune in to what's happening in Lompoc. Hello, I'm Samantha Scroggin, Community Relations Manager for the City of Lompoc. And for this episode of Tune in Lompoc, we're taking a closer look at local theater. Theater has a rich history right here in Lompoc, and Jasmine and I are going to take a closer look at what that means for the city. Jasmine! Jasmine! Wherefore art thou, Jasmine?
Here I am! I was just testing out your acting skills. Well, I'm Jasmine McGinty, Development Program Specialist with the City of Lompoc, and as Samantha said, today we're going to highlight different theater groups in town. Theater is a huge part of our community, and there is theater groups ranging from youth all the way to adults, so there really is truly something for everyone. Today we're going to talk to actors from the Lompoc Theater Group, the Lompoc Civic Theater, and the Lompoc Youth Theater, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what they do and how they really make a difference in our community. And speaking of theater, we are standing in front of the beautiful Lompoc Civic Auditorium, which is home to many different plays, dance shows, recitals, and a multitude of events around town. So let's go check out some different groups.
Sounds good, Jasmine. Let's go. So we're here at Stone Pine Hall. I'm with Charles Summer. He's the director of Rounding Third, the play through the Lompoc Civic Theater this summer. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the background of civic theater and the importance of theater in the Lompoc community.
Yeah, Lompoc Civic Theater's been in Lompoc since 1973, well before I was around. I joined Lompoc Civic Theater back in 2012. We do many main stage productions throughout the year, and in between 3 and 5, dinner theater, main stage, readers theater, our typical venue locations, Civic Auditorium at the middle school, the Ellery Room at the Country Club, and then here at Stone Pine Hall, where Rounding Third will open up on June 15th.
Okay. So sort of a rich history here with the civic theater in town. And how do you connect to the other theater groups here in town? There's a youth theater group, there's high school theater, there's a bunch of different theater groups in town.
Yeah, the City of Lompoc does have their youth theater program, and Sarah Raines, who will be directing the show this summer, has a good relationship with Lompoc Civic Theater. She's been in a show, and she gives overall support. And with the high schools, we have a close relationship with Sarah Barthel at Lompoc High School, and we even see some of the graduated students who might not go to college for theater, but will come back and be part of Lompoc Civic Theater. Our current recording secretary is a graduate of Lompoc High School and has moved back into town and has joined as a board member.
So Lompoc Civic Theater is an outlet in many different ways for many different people.
Yeah, for me personally, coming back into the theater is sort of a reboot. We have many different people in the community that this is their creative outlet for coming back into theater, those who have had professional work in the past and just, they've made a living and now they're just trying to get sort of that itch out. And I tell you, it is an itch, because as much of a time commitment as it takes, you have to have the itch, and it's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding for those in the theater. It's the satisfaction that you put on a great show for the community and for the organization itself.
Mm-hmm. And about how frequently does the organization put on shows throughout the year?
Almost quarterly. We have a summer show, we have a fall show on Golden Pond. That'll be our dinner theater coming up. And for each season, it could be 3 shows, 4 shows, 5 shows, but they're typically spaced out 10 to 11 weeks apart.
Got it. Kind of a range to comedy, drama, different shows.
Rounding Third is very much a comedy, and we have done some shows that are much more dramatic, and we do a wide range of types of shows, and we try to pick stuff that's not overly popular, overly done, but at the same time very appealing to the community.
Mm-hmm. Of course, theater's just a lot of fun. Kind of a community here in town. I'm sure you get to know each other very well too, and
Yes, one of the actors in the show, he owns a restaurant in town, and my family owns a restaurant in town, so we've known each other for a really long time, well before I got into Civic Theater, and it wasn't until I joined Lompoc Civic Theater that I found out that he had played the same role I was playing in 2013. He had done it in 1993.
Wow, so it comes around.
It definitely comes around.
Cool, well thank you so much, Charles.
Yes, appreciate it.
Ann Ramsey's a producer here, a longtime actress with Lompoc Civic Theater, and she was kind of telling me a little bit about how important theater is to the community and how you're trying to draw even more people to come enjoy theater here.
Yes, absolutely, and thank you for asking that, because we are in our 45th year of live theater here in Lompoc, and in some ways it still feels like it's the best kept secret in town. So we would like to invite everyone who watches this to please come on out, come see live theater. It is so much more exciting than sitting and watching a film because it's three-dimensional. It is interactive because what you give to the actors react to and give back to you. So it's a whole different exciting experience than sitting and passively watching a film.
And is the website a good way to find out the upcoming shows?
Absolutely. www.lompoccivictheater.com, and we always post all of our information about upcoming productions, and we're actually revamping and enhancing our website right now, so you'll be able to get even more information. We also are constantly posting on Lompoc Forum, Lompoc Valley Forum. We're on Facebook. So we are really trying to reach out to all of the social media to reach everyone of every generation to let you know that we welcome you and we really want you to be a part of this wonderful experience.
Fabulous. So come out, come check it out.
Yes,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Ann.
Thank you.
We're here with Mike Sewell now to talk a little bit more about Lompoc Civic Theater. Mike's been involved a long time with Civic Theater. He's in the summer play. He's on the board. Tell us about your involvement and what you enjoy about Civic Theater.
Well, sure. Well, I enjoy everything about it. I've been involved off and on since 1988, so my 30th year with Civic Theater. And I started right out of high school and didn't have much of a program back in the day in school for theater, not like they do now, which is amazing. So I was really thirsting for theater. I'd gotten a taste of it in high school, and I wanted more. And I came on as an actor and fell in love, and immediately just did every show they did for years and years. And then life got in the way, and I had a family and 4 kids, and it was hard to do theater anymore. And I'm in the restaurant business, so it's hard to do nights and weekends and stuff like that. But I never lost the urge to do theater, and I'm always a very creative guy, so I had to find a creative outlet. So I finally came back, and now I'm addicted again.
Right. Is it something flexible that can work with people's schedules? What do you recommend as far as you don't have a ton of time, but you do want to be involved?
Well, it is and it isn't. It depends on what you want to do and how much you want to get involved. So if you want to go full bore and be on the board and do every show, then it's going to take a lot of time. But the great thing about theater is there's lots of jobs to do. So if you're not an actor, you can work backstage, and it's not a full-time commitment. Every one of us has a day job of some sort, so we all have to work around schedules. And there's the other guy in the show, lives out of town, so he's going to drive into town. So yeah, it's all about time management, but there's also a lot of jobs to do. Even if you can't be involved in a show, maybe you can bake cookies for the hospitality, or help with props, or help gather props, or help with publicity behind the scenes. Or if you want to learn how to direct, and you can learn everything in Civic Theater because there's no hierarchy. Everyone can learn every job if they really want to.
Mm-hmm. And why have you stuck specifically with Lompoc Civic Theater after all these years? What keeps bringing you back?
Well, because I live here mostly, and I love Lompoc. I'm a Lompoc native, and I went away for a long time, but I'm here permanently now. My grandkid is here. My kids are here. Mm-hmm. At least 3 out of 4 are. So this is my home, and we just happen to have a world-class theater here as well. Not everybody knows about it yet. We're always trying to get more of the word out, but we're always doing really high-quality theater, and that's what really brought me back was the people involved now, the quality theater they're doing. I wanted to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. And how can people get involved? You have a website.
Yeah, we have a website. You can just Google Lompoc Civic Theater or find us on the Facebook page, or you can call 735-ACT-1, ACT-1, or 2281, depending on how you like to do it, and get information that way on the upcoming shows. And we have a monthly meeting you can come to. Everyone's invited to our meetings. So, but yeah, I'd say start the website and go from there.
Okay. And there's audition information on there as well?
Yeah, there's always updated audition information within the shows that are coming up. And we kind of give many months' notice for people to get the information that they need.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you very much.
So you may have noticed that Mike's wearing a whistle today. It's actually part of his costume for his monologue, which we're going to take a look at here. So.
Unfortunately, we don't have much time this morning. The Pep Club has the gym at 10, so I'll make this brief. First of all, congratulations. You're the luckiest kids in town. You're on my team. Now I promise we'll work hard, we'll learn a lot, and we'll have fun. Now, how do we have fun playing baseball? One word, winning. Winning is fun. Losing stinks. I hope this is not new information.
All right, it's trivia time. Our first question. On May 27th, 2017, the Lompoc Theater Project celebrated what birthday? A, 100th, B, 90th, C, 50th, or D, 65th? Correct. The answer is B, 90th.
I'm with Sarah Rains. She's the producer and director for Lompoc Youth Theater. She's new in the role, and I just want to hear a little bit about how you got the role and how it's been so far.
Well, one of the founders and the previous producer, Joyce Mayhew, is actually moving, and so she needed somebody to take over, and I guess she heard about me. She actually didn't tell me how she heard, but I assume it's because I've directed 2 musicals at Los Barros Visual and Performing Arts Academy, and I'm very proud of those. I think they did well, and so then she thought of me as a potential producer for Lompoc Youth Theater. I'm really excited to do it.
And when was that you started?
Oh, like a month ago. So
brand new.
March, yeah. And yeah, and so really, I've only been doing the producer side of things. I'm getting a crew together, and I'm marketing for auditions and trying to get kids to sign up for the camp, and I chose the play, and so I've been doing that kind of stuff. And once camp starts, I get to do the directing stuff, which is bossing kids around about where to go on stage and making art and making characters.
Great. So theater really is impactful on even kids' lives. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
My experience with kids in theater is that it provides a really tangible way for them to apply skills such as socialization and problem solving and working together and working with people you might not choose to work with normally, that you kind of get put together and you have to figure stuff out and solve your differences or accomplish a goal together. So it really fosters teamwork and problem solving and leadership and good socialization skills for how it's appropriate to socialize with your peers. I also really strongly believe that arts in general can be therapeutic in such a way that it will be easier to get through other obstacles in life. And my experience in theater taught me how to better work with people, and I think doing it at a young age only helps.
And it's a lot of fun.
And it's super fun. That's the main reason I do this.
Right, yeah. And especially in Lompoc, I know it's a very popular program, the Lompoc Youth Theater, the summer camp, and it's something the kids look forward to every year. So we recently auditioned for our new show, and can you tell us a little about what that is this year?
Yes, this year it's Schoolhouse Rock Live Junior. So Schoolhouse Rock, just like the cartoon that you remember as a kid watching and that even your parents probably remember as a kid watching because it started in the 70s. So it has a lot of those songs. It's going to be really fun. It really lends itself to dancing and lots of singing, has fun characters. And since the TV show started in the 70s, I'm kind of taking it back and doing a retro vibe and making it really groovy with a very 70s feel to our set and props and costumes. And I'm really excited about the talented kids here in Lompoc that I've gotten to work with before and that I get to work with now, and I know it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, and come out and watch the show. It's July. Do we have the dates here?
Yeah, end of July, the 27th and 28th of July, and also the 3rd and 4th of August, so those 2 weekends.
So always a good time. The kids love it. It's open to kids of all levels, isn't it, youth theater?
Oh, yeah.
Experience levels?
Oh, yeah. So it's from kids who are about to go into 4th grade up through kids who just graduated high school. So that's a really broad spectrum of ages, which incorporates a really broad spectrum of experience. And some of them might be a little more dancer, and some of them might be a little more actor or a little more singer, but they all get to do everything and learn a lot about everything and what it takes to put on a show.
And how can kids get involved in youth theater if they want to in Lompoc?
It's through Parks and Recreation. So Lompoc Youth Theater is through Parks and Recreation, so you can call there and register for the camp and do that. But also there's just a lot of schools doing really great shows and a lot of opportunities in Lompoc in general that I hope everyone takes advantage of.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks.
All right, are you ready for our next trivia time? Excellent. What was the last year a film was projected onto its Cinescope screen at the Lompoc Civic Theater? A. 2001, B. 1966, C. 1970, or D. 1985? Correct. The answer is D. 1985.
He's the president of the Lompoc Theater Project, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the theater here, the background of the project, and kind of where we are today. So you want to start with some background?
Yes. The theater itself was built in 1927. It's the same year that the Granada Theater in Santa Barbara was built. And if you go up the entire state, especially I-99, you will find that Bakersfield, Modesto, Merced, Visalia, on and on, all have their sort of hometown theaters all built between 1924 and 1930 before the stock market crash. It's during the golden age with the flappers and everything, and everybody had money, and California was new and happening, and so we all have our movie houses. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been torn down. Thankfully, not this one.
Great. And you were explaining to me earlier that the year that this happened was critical to this theater being here today.
Yes. Some of the ones that aren't around that were built before 1925 out of concrete, they crumbled long ago. In 1927, we figured out as a country that, hey, rebar is actually a valuable construction process. And so this is all reinforced concrete. We have no earthquake retrofitting to do in this building. It's really remarkable in this state and with a structure this tall that we don't have issues. But it's not masonry, it's reinforced concrete, and the cost to destroy this building is much, much more than even the building itself right now is worth, so that's why it's still standing. That and the fact that it's also now eligible for the National Historic Registry, meaning that Lompoc will have its very own theater on Highway 1, PCH, that is a historic registry theater, and we're very excited. We'll complete that process as we get a little further on in our renovations.
Great. And speaking of your renovations, where are you now in the renovation process?
Well, it took us, we are the fourth group that have tried to renovate this theater, which might sound like, okay, well, this is hopeless. But actually, going all around the country and seeing people who've done this before, the average of the group that finally takes it over the finish line is 4. So we're right in the wheelhouse with that. But we formed, Lompoc Theater Project formed 5 years ago. I myself have been a part of it for 4. Actually, it's 5.5 years ago. And a group of dedicated hometown individuals, grassroots in every sense of the word, started this and has shepherded it. It took us 3 years just to get ownership of the building because it was tied up with previous owners who had had a lot of problems, very public problems, a lot of money that didn't go into the building, and so it made it worse than it was. And we had to go through state and federal and local agencies and individuals with liens, and it was, anyway, we own it now, we own it free and clear, and since we got ownership, we have put money into it. We've raised about $200,000 to date, which is not bad for Lompoc. We have a $6 million that we have to raise, so it's a drop in the bucket, and we're in the middle of, or the early middle of the capital campaign trying to attract the large donors that we'll need to finish this. But a year ago, we finally finished getting rid of the mold, the asbestos, and pigeons. This was a pigeon aviary for about 15 years, and there were droppings about this thick throughout this entire theater. All of that's gone, the seats have been removed, we've saved the end caps so that when we rebuild the seats, they will be original with all of the historic parts of them and comfortable, and it will seat 450 people in a setting, because of the concrete, that is acoustically marvelous. They used to do recordings here in the, even up until the 80s, they did recorded sound performances in here. The acoustics are great, and they'll only even be better when we're done.
Great. So what do you expect the finished product might look like?
Well, this will be a showpiece. It will be restored exactly as it was back in the day, and when this was built originally, it was state of the art. Unfortunately, they kind of forgot that, you know, maybe we should have thought about dressing rooms more, maybe we should have thought of a bigger lobby if we're going to have 450 people coming. So with the renovation, we'll be able to fix all of that while keeping all the historical structure completely intact. We're going to add an annex that will not only be a large rehearsal hall on top and plenty of dressing rooms and a green room area where the locals can meet some of the performers after the show and all of that. We'll have an outside courtyard, and the entire front of the building, say, where we'll have our box office, will be the lobby. So there'll be plenty of room. And then the lobby will blend naturally to an outdoor courtyard that will be safe from the Lompoc winds, so you'll be able to celebrate there. And not only will we do live performances here, but people will get married on that stage, and quinceañeras will happen here, and they'll be able to celebrate in the big rehearsal room and be able to have dinner and dancing in the courtyard. It'll be magical.
Nice.
It'll be wonderful.
And I imagine the timeline for this getting complete depends on how fast you can raise the money that is needed.
That's the magic thing. It's 2 years from the time that we actually get our funding that we would be able to open the door. Okay. Maybe a year and a half. But in the meantime, when we get money, we use it. All of it goes in, 100% goes into the theater. As I said, we did a remarkable lot of work. There was plaster falling from here. I think we were able to, a year later, had we not done it, all of this structure would have been irredeemable, but we were able to dry it out, and it's been tested, and it's sound, so we're good. We saved having to get rid of the whole superstructure.
Nice.
So that's good, but yeah.
I'm sorry, so what goes into historical accuracy here for rebuilding what it was in the 20s?
Well, we have all sorts of newspaper clippings, we have all sorts of pictures from people over the years, and we hired a company from Santa Barbara that came and actually forensically came through with us and said, no, you want to keep that, you want to keep that. The seats are not technically historical, but those end caps, you might want to save those, and all of these, because there was a major renovation in the 50s. So it looked a certain way in 1927, looked a different way in 1955, and so there's almost two historical art directed looks of this place that we have to meld into a harmonious whole.
Right. So how can people support the project?
Well, you can go on our website, lompoctheaterproject.org, and you can see our progress to date. You can see a lot of our history. We need money. We need your rich aunt and uncle. There are naming opportunities where the right person can name this building and various parts of this building and leave a legacy for this town that will last beyond their lifetimes. It happens that way all over the country. And not only will we be able to see live acts in here, we'll have Saturday matinees again, where I was a kid, used to come here and watch double features back in the day. But we'll have live acts, and we'll have country western, we'll have hip hop, we'll have swing, we'll have rock and roll, we'll have everything. We have we're going to have a hydraulic lift that enables us to extend the apron so we can have ballet or full orchestras in here. And we'll drop down so we can have dancing and mosh pits and anything you'd want. We're going to have Spanish language movies, we're going to have salsa nights. It will serve the entire community. Great. And we just are so excited.
Nice. Well, obviously it's a gem here.
Yes.
It's fun being here, and it's definitely something to look forward to.
Yes.
So thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Are you guys ready for our last trivia question today? What is the title of the Lompoc Youth Theater's Summer 2018 production? A. Schoolhouse Rock Live Jr., B. Godspell, C. Legally Blonde Jr., or D. High School Musical? Correct. The answer is A. Schoolhouse Rock Live Jr.
So as you can see from this episode of Tune in Lompoc, all the world's a stage, and Jasmine and I are merely hanging out with some really cool actors right here in town.
We really truly learned a lot from the actors today from all the different groups, and so if you want to get involved, please feel free to contact one of these organizations, and even you can be an actor.
And even if you're not an actor, support local theater by coming out and seeing some of these plays. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time when we
Tune in, Lompoc.